Quick recap. You created a new project, developed your basis of design, imported your floor plans. Now it's time to lay out your spaces. On the Spaces tab, the first thing you're going to do is add a space. It will default to the polygon tool, and you can create your space like so. You can also switch to the rectangle tool for faster layouts. Once you create a space, when you click on it, you'll see the space data box pop up in the bottom right-hand corner here. You can name your space, and most importantly, define the space type. This comes from the profile step that you just did under space criteria, and you'll see the space types you created appear here. Once you select a space type, HVAKR pulls in all the data that you defined in your profile step and will be using it to do the load calculations. As you scroll down the space data box, you'll see some more inputs. Roof type, this pulls from the roof profile step. Roof pitch you can apply if applicable. Slab type you define here by selecting from the list. And then slab to slab height is a manual entry. Same with ceiling height. You'll see here number of people. It will default based on the people density that you assign to that space type. If you want to override it, you can choose custom and override the number of people. Same goes for the ventilation required for that space. It will default to the ASHRAE or code method of required outdoor air, which is your people rate plus your area rate. However, you can also override this and put in your own custom ventilation requirements. Next would be infiltration. You can choose to specify infiltration based on air changes or linear feet of wall. And then the last inputs are your miscellaneous cooling load or your miscellaneous heating load. Once you have all these filled out, you've completed all the space data for that individual space. Now you can create a space one at a time and fully populate the space data box as you go, or you can lay out all your spaces and then go back through and populate the data box. But here's a trick, and this is how I like to do it. I'll create one space and I'll be sure to include the slab to slab height and the ceiling height. Then as I create additional spaces, HVAKR will default the slab to slab height and the ceiling height to be the same as the nearest space to it. So if you define that once, it saves you a lot of time on data entry as you draw the rest of your spaces. Another trick, once you fully populate one space type, you can actually click this copy button and copy all the inputs for that space type and then apply it by pasting it onto another space. Then, if you need to, you can make adjustments here or there. If you have a lot of similar spaces with just one or two changes, this is a really fast way to do that. One more thing to point out. At the bottom of your space data box, you may have noticed cooling loads and heating loads. If you click on cooling loads, you will actually get a preview of your loads for that space based on the inputs that you've given it. Right here, you can see the people, sensible and latent loads, the equipment load and lighting load, just based on the few inputs I've given it so far. You'll notice there's no walls or windows included yet, because that is the next step. But before we go there, let me show you how to edit a space after it's been created. If you right-click on a space, you can select Edit, and then the nodes are totally adjustable. To add or remove nodes, hold the Shift button and click on the line. This allows you to adjust for changing geometries in revised floor plans. Or if you just made a mistake, it's easy to correct instead of redrawing the space. All right, with that said, let's get on to walls and windows.